Welcome to the XFO Intelligence podcast. We've all experienced them, those sudden moments of clarity, right? When just disparate ideas suddenly click together and they reveal solutions that they were totally invisible just moments before. These aha moments, they've traditionally been viewed as these kind of mysterious flashes of genius, unpredictable, unrepeatable. But, and this is huge, emerging research from XFO Intelligence is revealing a far more profound truth. It turns out aha moments are not just random discoveries. Dramatic pause. They are cognitive singularities. Yeah, really. They're these critical thresholds where all this accumulated knowledge, it undergoes a fundamental phase transition into, new dimensions of understanding. And look, this isn't just some poetic metaphor. Think about water freezing into ice. It's like that. These cognitive transformations, they actually follow precise physical principles. So, what appears as a sudden insight is really the visible culmination of all this invisible accumulation, a critical mass of diverse knowledge that just snaps, collapses into entirely new ways of seeing the world. And this framework, it validates the deep augmented thinking method, which was invented by the founder of XFO Intelligence, Brendan S.C. Wong. The most powerful aha moments, they don't just solve existing problems, they dissolve the very boundaries that define those problems in the first place. Think about Einstein's insight, about the equivalence of mass and energy. That didn't just solve a few physics puzzles. It created entirely new domains of possibility that were previously unthinkable. Wow, that is the power of a true cognitive singularity. And this transformative power, it emerges from a really specific synergy between human and artificial intelligence. So our human intuition, it excels at making these huge quantum leaps across conceptual gaps. But then AI logic, it provides this exhaustive coverage of all the possibility spaces. Emphatic. So when these two things interact through what we call productive friction, that's the constructive tension between our intuitive leaps and the AI's logical validation, that's when you create the conditions where entirely new islands of possibility emerge in the cognitive landscape. The suddenness of these moments, it really masks their true nature, right? They're products of sustained invisible preparation. Our research reveals 4 essential conditions that have to come together for these singularities to occur. First, knowledge density. Second, cognitive diversity. Third is iterative refinement. And fourth, and this one's so important, suspended judgment. The willingness to hold contradictory ideas in tension. But what makes this framework so revolutionary is recognizing that each aha moment doesn't just add knowledge, it actually transforms the observer's capacity for future insight. It's incredible. Every single cognitive singularity recalibrates the system's mapping algorithm. It makes the next insights not just more likely, but exponentially more powerful. This creates an accelerating feedback loop we call insight momentum. And maybe most surprisingly, this whole pattern, it mirrors universal principles of intelligence we find all across nature, from the problem solving of single-celled organisms all the way to emergent capabilities in neural networks. Cognitive singularities are not some uniquely human thing. They seem to be a fundamental property of adaptive systems operating at these critical thresholds. So, while we can't predict a specific aha moment, we can absolutely engineer the conditions that make them inevitable. So first, cultivate productive friction. Yeah, it's counterintuitive, but friction isn't the enemy of collaboration. It's the essential catalyst. Second, design for critical mass. Organizations have to move beyond just managing knowledge to knowledge density engineering, actively fostering connections between totally separate domains. And third, harvest and amplify. That moment of insight is just the start. The real value comes from how you capture, validate, and amplify these breakthroughs to trigger even more singularities. In the age of AI, this framework, it takes on a whole new urgency. The most powerful insights are going to emerge not from humans alone and not from AI alone, but from that specific friction between them. This is not about replacing human cognition. It's about creating cognitive partnerships where each capability just amplifies the other. The organizations that are going to thrive in the coming decades, they'll be the ones that understand this fundamental truth. The greatest innovations don't come from working harder inside the old paradigms. They emerge from the cognitive singularities that dissolve those paradigms entirely. In this new landscape, the most valuable skill won't be problem solving. It's going to be paradigm dissolving. The research we've done at XFO Intelligence provides a strategic framework for this future, and we invite you to explore it for yourself. For a complimentary copy of the full research paper, which gives a much deeper investigation and validates the deep augmented thinking method, please send an email to xfointelligence@gmail.com. We'd love for you to review it, and we're open to exploring collaboration opportunities. And hey, if this topic sparks your curiosity, we'd ask you to like, share, and subscribe to the XFO Intelligence podcast channel. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. If you could engineer one cognitive singularity in your field, what existing problem would you not just solve, but dissolve entirely?